Tonight, I'm going to be talking a little bit about Epic Universe, maybe Con, and of course, Dr. Grant, Monster Hunter. All that and more. I am Brad Jost, and this is Let's Talk Jurassic. Well, I almost just completely hit the wrong button and ended the stream. That was a close one. Very, very close. It's still going, right? Yeah, okay. Hey, welcome back, everybody, to another Let's Talk Jurassic, your weekly live stream here from the Jurassic Park Podcast. Thank you to our returning viewers out there. Let me go ahead and post this real quick. Glad to have you back, as always. Glad to have you back. And if anybody's new here, look, it's kind of a mess here once in a while, so that's what you're going to get. And if you're lurking out there, keep doing you. But not a lot to talk about today. Not really a lot of different, like, Jurassic topics to discuss here tonight. So we're just going to wing it. We're just going to talk about whatever we want. Maybe a little bit of Indiana Jones, some Universal, some other stuff. But do I have anything to share off from the website? I don't think so, not really, but just in case you didn't see it, which I'm sure you have already, but please go to the website and find our interviews from Camp Cretaceous. No, that's not the show. Chaos Theory season 3. We had the cast on there, we had Scott Kramer on there, we have all kinds of stuff, but this is all old news at this point, I guess. I wonder, are there still fans out there that have not caught up yet, that are not fully caught up on Chaos Theory? Has everybody here, and I know it's not, I didn't get a chance to share this around yet fully, but did everybody here get a chance to fully watch season 3 of Chaos Theory? I'd be interested, because I know sometimes it's not as easy to get to, but what are you gonna do? You got to start talking spoilers at some point, but we'll get to some other stuff. I've got some other stuff planned, and there's definitely a new episode coming out next week. I did not put out an episode this week, but we'll get to another one next week. What was I? Oh yeah, I was like, what was I doing this week? I went to Epic Universe. That's right. But let's see who's there. We've got Spino Rex 123. How's it going? We got Raptor Lover here. W's in the chat for the gaming T-Rex. Let's go. We got Steve here. What's up, Steve? How's it going? Chris Meadows with the heck yes. 6 out of 10. Oh, wait, so did you give it a 6 out of 10, or did you watch 6 out of 10 episodes? And yes, dude, plenty of Star Wars in the next few days. I'm too tired. Luckily, I don't have to record Forcecast tonight. So, yeah, I got to catch up on some sleep so I can start thinking about what's going to happen here Star Wars-wise, because we got all of Star Wars Celebration coming this weekend. I'm very excited about that. I am obviously not there. I'm right here in my studio tonight, but yeah, I'm gonna be paying attention to Star Wars Celebration pretty closely, and maybe if I get the chance, maybe I'll do some reactions and things like that if I get the chance. But yeah, because I know the Forcecast has been coming out on Friday, or it started now to come out on Fridays. We're not going to be putting out an episode this week because Friday it's the start of Star Wars Celebration. Who's going to be listening to a podcast then? A Star Wars podcast. So we're going to push it to the following week. So we'll try to catch up with all the Star Wars Celebration news there. But yeah, hey Norman, what's going on? 4th time watching. Greetings from Costa Rica. Really good. Thank you for the good content and being from Costa Rica. That's cool. You're very close to where all of this happened. All of this very historical documentations that we've seen in these movies that were documented by Steven Spielberg called Jurassic Park. And then later on, Colin Trevorrow was documenting some very real experiences down on Isla Nublar, as far as I know, right off the coast of Costa Rica. So you're right in the heart of it. Alexander here from Mexico. That is not, it's still around there, general, kind of. But yeah, closer than me. So you're closer than me to the epicenter of Jurassic, that's for sure. Muslim, what's going on? You got the hat? Yeah, you got the fedora going tonight. I do not. I just have this one. But yes, plenty of Indiana Jones going on at the moment, and I see that you dug right into the game as well. I can't open my eyes tonight. I'm too tired. I'm gonna pass out. But yeah, that game is a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I'm digging it a lot so far. Jurassic time. Yes, it is. I don't know. Is it though? Because there's not really a lot of Jurassic news to discuss this week. All right, so you didn't watch 6 out of 10 episodes. You gave it a 6 out of 10. Okay, didn't hate it. Appreciated a lot of the darker elements, but it's just not aimed at 33-year-old me. It's aimed at 39-year-old me, directly at me, because I loved it. I thought it was pretty great, but 6 out of 10, I can't blame you there. That's fine as well. It ultimately is like a kid's show, right? Forgot I left my door open for once. I usually close that all when I'm recording. But yeah, it is aimed for kids, but I don't know. I'm just obsessed with it. I think it's a really good story. It's a lot of fun. I love those characters, so it hits me. Jurassic Soul's back in the house after being on the stream. That was last week, right? Feels like 14 years ago. Whoa. Thank you for the super chat. There were some Rebirth toys we got a better look at, and Rebirth Dr. Pepper starting to appear. Really cool stuff. Toys, yeah, I think I may have spotted some of those, but I did go to the store today, and I did not see any Dr. Peppers still. I've been trying to keep my eyes out for them, and I have not spotted them yet. I'm not surprised because I feel like my area doesn't ever get the cool soda tie-ins, so that's a bummer. But way too much time with Nona in Italy. Yeah, I get you. It makes sense. They did spend a lot of time there, but I liked how chill it was. That was one of the only moments of Jurassic that's just kind of calm and nice and relaxing. So I kind of dug that vibe a little bit. Put that back up because I didn't read the whole thing. But didn't vibe with Kenji or the relationship drama. I haven't really been vibing with Kenji, to be honest, as well. Relationship drama, I'm down for that. I think it was pretty good. Just feels like you can't marry the CC and CT tones effectively. But as far as kid show goes, it's solid. Interesting. Can't marry the CC and CT. I mean, they're definitely different vibes. I feel like, obviously, Camp Cretaceous was more kiddie feeling, and this is a little bit more serious, but I feel like that's just a sign of them growing, and I can't really say the audience growing because it's still the same audience, and they're still young. It's not like you were 15 when you saw the show and now you're 30, so yeah, hard to say it's grown up. I feel like with the Clone Wars, you could kind of say that some people grew up with that show, or especially between seasons 6 and 7 or whatever, or from Clone Wars through all the way through Rebels or whatever. But yeah, this one is just very short amount of time. It's very short. Gonna be watching it from home. Yeah, I'll be watching it from home, but I still really don't know what I'm gonna be able to watch fully. Just gonna have to wait and see, because it's always pretty confusing as far as what they're actually streaming and what they're not. And the timing's weird. I forgot about that. The timing's gonna be pretty strange. I forget what it was. I think I added the clock here the other day, didn't I? I don't know. I have Tokyo. It's 10:19. Is that yes, around there, I guess. 10:19. Oh, that was in the morning, AM. So kind of like almost opposite ends. You found the still hate found the Aquilops, Dr. Pepper? Oh, still have it. Okay, dude. I was like, what? Because like sometimes when you like pick up a toy or pick up something, you're like, dude, I hate this character so much, but I'm gonna buy it, dude. I'm gonna get that toy. I hate this character. I hate this movie. Whatever. I'm gonna get it anyway. That's kind of what I was thinking you were feeling there. I hate that Aquilops, dude. Stinks. I'm buying it though. I'm gonna buy it. Yeah, I would like to find that one. There were some really cool designs in there. On some of the other ones, I gotta relook, but I feel like I gotta go I gotta email Dr. Pepper or something and say, hey, send me the whole thing. What are we doing here? They're gonna be really impressed when I'm just sitting here yawning about that. Oh, many people actually thought the movie was filmed there. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, especially because there is like a scene there. Not really, but that's what the setting is, at least. So, yeah, I could see how that would be the case, but so many great movies are filmed in Hawaii, so that like area doubles for like so many different places. But yeah. Star Wars took over. W. Alexander says, I want to start watching Camp Cretaceous and then Chaos Theory, but it is very much for kids. How much of the series is canon? So, look, I think personally, and as far as like the creators and everybody are concerned and everything, it's 100% canon. It's totally canon with everything. Now, you can kind of, I think you should be able to pick and choose like some moments if you want to. But, and when I say that, I mean like there's some things that happen that are pretty wild and crazy, and like in canon wise, you're like in the back of your head, you're like, I don't know, that doesn't really jive with what I know of the universe. But I think overall, canon-wise, it's fine. Like, it actually works really well with everything, and especially, like, it's in Camp Cretaceous and now Chaos Theory, there's direct episodes and, like, seasons that tie directly to, like, events from the movies, which I find awesome. I really, really dig that. So, that's what I'm there for. I'm there for expanding the lore, expanding the canon, giving me things that I've never seen before in the movies. And we don't really have a lot of options, right? We've just got movies. We've got one book that's like kind of canon-ish. We still, that's the thing about canon in the Jurassic universe. It's like, the movies. That's about it. That's all we got, like the movies. But, you can throw in stuff like Chaos Theory, Camp Cretaceous, because they're made with canon in mind. There are liberties taken with a lot of different designs and some stuff, but I think that you can attribute that to the medium that it's being presented in. It's animation. They're using the tools with what they have, and specifically when it comes to like direct tie-ins and things like that, there are moments that like the executive producer himself talked to me about on the recording that I did, that there are kind of like legal rules that they can't do certain things. So you have to kind of think of it that way. So apparently they can't always tie things together, and that happens in a lot of these things. You see it happen with Marvel every now and then. You're like, okay, I just watched the entire Daredevil show, but like, this is all set in New York, and we know like a lot of Avengers have appeared in New York, and where are they? Like, so that's kind of that same kind of thing. It's like, it's towing the line between stuff that can happen, stuff that can't happen, and you kind of have to just like say, oh, this is canon within the movies. It's doing its own thing in its own version sometimes, but I think it's doing a really good job. But yeah, it's the first show is definitely made for kids, and certainly more so than Chaos Theory, but that doesn't mean that's not enjoyable. Like, just because it's made for kids doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. You just have to kind of get over that hurdle yourself, you know. Animation itself is not a kid's medium. It's not meant to just be a kid's medium. So view it that way. You know, view it as a way as it's just animation. It's just a TV show. It's just filmmaking, whatever it is. It's not a kid's show or this or that. Like, it's just animation. And Chris, yes, I have heard this as well. That CQT is mentioning that John Williams recorded a good chunk, or at least, I don't know if it was recorded necessarily, but it was, you know, wrote a lot of the score for Rebirth with this Benjamin Wallfish filling in, right? So now Benjamin apparently is the direct composer now at, was it Abbey Road or something like that? Yeah, you wrote it there. So, you know, take that with a grain of salt. You know, I don't know anything about that directly, other than what you had read and what I had seen as well. So that's interesting. Can I like pin this? I just want to pin it so like so everybody knows like what I'm talking about. Lock? Can I like lock it there? I want it to just stay. But you know, if let's say John Williams did write this score or some of the score, I think that's totally possible, right? I mean, John Williams has come back for different things in the Star Wars universe. You know, he did the entire Star Wars trilogy, sequel trilogy. He did a theme or so for, I think for Obi-Wan, but also for Solo. I think he did something for Obi-Wan. I'm not too sure on that one, but definitely for Solo. So I think there's a chance he could have come in to, you know, maybe not do the entire thing. Let's just say option one. Maybe he didn't write the entire thing. Maybe he wrote a suite. Maybe he wrote a piece, just like a singular overture kind of piece, you know, or a theme, an island theme. Something like that to kind of set the tone, like the Rebirth theme, whatever that may be. He could have kind of given some notes and stuff on that and just given that, and then, you know, this other guy, Benjamin, creates the rest of the score. So that could be option one. Let's say that's option one. Option two is he was intending to do the entire thing. Let's say John Williams was intending to do the entire score for Rebirth. It almost kind of makes sense when I think about it, because we haven't heard anything about this, about a score for or a composer for this movie, which is weird. It's kind of weird. We haven't heard anything about a composer, like a real true composer. We've heard rumblings and rumors and different things, and we've all speculated about different related composers to Gareth Edwards. But let's just say, for instance, that John Williams recorded, or not recorded, but wrote or was intending to write the entire score. It kind of makes sense to me that we haven't heard anything. I could see it that they're like, all right, let's make sure John gets through as much as he can of this score, and then we'll put out a huge major press release, video, whatever, you know, just announcing that. Imagine how cool that would be. You've got Steven Spielberg as a producer, but like helping David Koepp, the original writer, back to write this. And then you also have the original composer back. Dude, that would have been mind-blowingly awesome. I'm like kind of losing my voice here. But imagine that being the case. That would have like gotten a lot of goodwill from the audience. I think people that were, maybe got out of the Jurassic, film industry, they were like, all right, you roped me back in. John Williams is involved. Oh, that's awesome. Let's get John Williams back. I want to hear some new John Williams music. So that would have been a pretty awesome marketing move if they were to do that. But let's say that, let's say the third option is that John Williams was intending to write the entire thing, but he got sick. And, he was recently at something. I did see him somewhere. And he was in a wheelchair. And I thought, I don't really follow his mobility, per se. I don't really know if he goes to specific events in a wheelchair and then stands up or whatever. I don't really know. But I saw him in the wheelchair and I thought, oh, that's interesting. I hope he's okay. I don't know if he usually does this, if they just, because he is an old dude. I don't know if they just roll him out to these events. But, I hope he's okay. That's what I thought when I saw that, because I'm not used to seeing him in that way. So maybe there is some truth to that story that, maybe he was intending to do this whole thing. He got sick. He couldn't finish it. So that's why we've got this delay also in announcing any kind of composer. So that could be the case. I don't know. And to be honest, I don't really know enough about this other guy. Let's, I heard the name the other day. What was it again? Lost it. I know you wrote it here somewhere. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right, let's go over to that real quick and just see who this is. Let's go to Rebirth. Boom. All right, so we've got this guy here, Benjamin Wallfish, British composer and conductor. Let's take a look at the IMDb. Let's take off this. We'll take off, let's just go for composer. Wolfman, Craven the Hunter, Alien Romulus. That's cool. Okay, so that would be an interesting tie with the visual style of Alien Romulus coming into play a lot, it seems like, in this trailer. Twisters. There's actually some really good stuff in Twisters that I love, and it captures some vibes that I really wanted from that movie. The Flash, I don't really honestly remember. Invisible Man. It Chapter 2. For a guy that I honestly did not know his name before, the other day. Gotta say, some good stuff. Some good stuff on here. At least not, whether it's good or not, I can't say for sure a lot of it, but big stuff. Really big stuff. So, I think we'd be in good hands, Blade Runner 2049, Definitely good stuff in there. So now we're getting back a little bit and I'm not really recognizing too much here. But to be honest, there's some big stuff in here and some definitely some great work that I think Until Dawn, Mortal Kombat 2, I think would be really interesting to hear, if, and let's just say there's other instances of this happening as well, whether it was what was his, it was Klaus Bladel or something with Hans Zimmer and Pirates of the Caribbean. What was the composer for Solo was John Powell, he did the entirety of the score, but John Williams did like the main theme or something like that for that movie. So, this could be the case where this guy comes in and finishes the score, works with whatever John Williams had written, or does the entirety of the score minus like a theme or something and uses that theme throughout the score. I don't know. Either way, I think that this guy could be a great option for the movie. I'm interested to hear what happens. If he's not, in the running or doing the score at all, well, we just showcased him for a little bit. You're welcome. No, but yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what's going to go on there. We'll see. We'll have to wait and see. Yeah, we're just going on some tangents tonight. Scott, I think they should stop making Star Wars movies and concentrate on Jurassic Park franchise, because Star Wars has been going for too many years and concentrate on Jurassic Park franchise. They're not mutually exclusive. Like, some of their leaders, though, are husband and wife. So, Kathleen Kennedy leads Star Wars and Lucasfilm. Frank Marshall is a, executive producer for Jurassic. But they're not mutually exclusive. Just because they don't make one doesn't mean the other one's going to get made, or whatever. It doesn't mean they're going to be too busy, because they're completely different studios. One's Universal, that makes Jurassic with Frank Marshall. And the other is Disney and Lucasfilm, and they work, with Star Wars. So, and also, in the time that let's see, how many we've had... No, I guess we haven't really had... We just had one... We've had one extra Jurassic movie. Not extra, but we've had one Jurassic movie in the time that we've had a Star Wars movie. There hasn't been a Star Wars movie since 2019, I believe. Was that one that... Oops. I think that was... Yeah, 2019 was the last Star Wars movie. So, Jurassic World Dominion was in 2022, I think, right? So yeah, they're making another. Also, yeah. So the thing I was gonna get at, yeah, we have gotten 2 Jurassic movies, because we will be getting another one. So we would have gotten 2 Jurassic movies in the time that we've gotten 1 Star Wars movie, because we're not getting another Star Wars movie until next May. So yeah, they're working on Jurassic, and they're not mutually exclusive. It doesn't matter. So. Thoughts on Walking with Dinosaurs versus Prehistoric Planet? I have 0 thoughts on that. I have 0. I don't watch either of them. It's just not my thing. It's not really my thing. I know a lot of Jurassic fans are into that, that kind of content, but it's not my thing. And if you listen to my shows and live streams, realism in dinosaurs is not really a thing for me. I don't care about that stuff. So give me your monster dinosaurs, your hybrids, your mutants, whatever. I'm fine with that. Give me a velociraptor that looks like Jurassic Park. That's the one I want. I want the Spinosaurus from Jurassic Park 3. I don't care about natural. Like, I do care, obviously, but I don't need that to be a thing for me. So I find it less interesting than Jurassic stuff. So, Chris, the interesting point you bring up there, you have your own headcanon. Ellie never met Charlotte. So what's your issue with that specifically? I'd love to know. I'll talk myself through it while you're catching up with the stream here, but because I know it's always a few seconds off or whatever. But in my head, that scene does make me question, like, why is any of this a mystery? But we got to remember that we're viewing this through the lens that we're given. You know, we are being told that this movie with let's go back to Fallen Kingdom. We're being told that, you know, how do I put this? I actually don't know what we're being told about the daughter, to be honest. I'm trying to think about like the lifespan of Charlotte and then having Maisie as a daughter, but then there is the cover up of something and she's like hidden away. So that's what we're told, is there's cover up and that people don't really know she exists and all that. So I think when we get to Dominion and we find out through Ellie that, oh, like she knew her mom and her mom, like nothing about her mom is a secret. It makes sense to me still. Like it is kind of like perplexing a little bit just in the way it's delivered and that we're not getting told things directly as an audience, which is totally fine. I think that's perfectly fine, to be honest. But if you view Fallen Kingdom through a character that's stuck in a mansion, the world is small. There is no answer. We have no idea. You know, she's not like Googling the history of her mother. She probably doesn't have that capability. But when we get out into the real world, it's not really a mystery. Like it's just, that's the history that this character has is a, you know, a sad history, and people know about this character. She's not a mystery to everybody. So that is something I think definitely comes into question when you first watch the movie, but I think there are explanations for it that work out, to be honest. But yeah. Oh, what, this Darth Vader cup? Yeah. You know, yeah, Caleb, I don't know if you just popped in, but we were just talking about the whole rumors about John Williams doing a little bit of the score. What are your thoughts on that? There's some interesting rumors floating around right now, but like, I don't know what I believe about that, but yeah, I think, look, I'd be open to it. I think that would be fantastic if he did. But if Benjamin's cutting in and doing the rest of it, that works as well. I've not seen Black Bag. Don't even know anything about it, but I didn't even realize David Koepp wrote it. So let's go over to some of the stuff that I at least had planned. I was going to talk about some things, but let's go over here real quick. We're going to see what is happening over in Mumbai Comic Con. They posted this via Universal Pictures India. Just showcasing some cosplayers and Comic Con attendees in front of this massive Jurassic World Rebirth logo with the big teeth and everything that you can see from the set of the movie. And it actually does replicate the bar that is there as well in the Suriname scene that takes place in the movie. You can see back there is like the bar features and the license plates that you always see at bars and stuff. So I just thought this was fun. Not too much here, but cool to see. Lots of different cosplays here. You know, this is what tonight's all about. This is exactly what tonight's all about. So, guys, this is I swear it's a Jurassic podcast live stream. But this is how we do things here at the live stream. It's a little wacky, and I don't know why. It just has become that way.
I feel like I should be using a Kylo Ren voice.
I don't really know how to do Kylo Ren's voice, unfortunately, but here we are. Now don't fall. Don't bust. All right, so what else we got here? Any other pictures? Scarlet Witch. There was, let me go over here real quick, because I know they did post something else. There was like a little video. Little poster they gave away. Oh, that was cool. I'm getting flashbacks to Epic Universe right now. Oh man, I miss it so much. A lot of dragon content here. I guess it makes sense. It's coming out soon. Well, you know, I think it's like June. Whoa, sick Wolverine. There I am. Very much excited to see Jurassic World Rebirth, Tyrannosaurus Rex. Heck yeah. On the 4th of July. Woo! See you at the movies. There we go. That's that. So, Mumbai Comic Con, killing it out there. Pretty cool. Love to see it. But yeah, let's see what's going on here in the comments real quick. Hey, it's okay. I'm not faulting you for being late. Yeah, and they're killing it out there. It's a good.
I've been seduced to the dark side.
But yeah, so speaking of I didn't really have much to say, but I had to mention that I went to Epic Universe the other day. And it was so awesome. So I went down there for literally one day. I actually slept overnight and then went home the following morning. But yeah, How to Train Your Dragon. That land was sick. Seeing the animatronics in there, the puppets and stuff like that they've got. They've got literally robots in there, which is crazy. The Boston Dynamics robot, but that park is so good. The animatronics in the Monsters Land. Oh my god, the Monsters Unleashed ride is so sick. And the Super Mario World was like probably the coolest thing ever. I just couldn't believe how awesome that land was. And the Harry Potter one, I didn't really spend a lot of time in there, but it looked nice. But I couldn't help but think about what's next, unfortunately, because like as I'm going through the park, there was 75 plus minutes for a lot of the rides, and there's a lot to do there. But if not everything's open or not everything's working capacity wise, it's gonna be tough, I think. So there needs to be a little bit more. So I was thinking about the expansion pads, and I know like we've seen that the Frisco Kids Universal Kids Resort is getting a Camp Cretaceous or something along those lines themed area, because it's the DreamWorks park. So they're getting that. We saw the concept art, I think, last week from the London or outside of London, wherever that is, Universal Resort that looks like it's getting a Jurassic section, from very early concept art. But man, do we think they would pull that trigger and bring it to Epic Universe? I don't know. On one hand, I really want them to. I really do. But like I do kind of want to see them explore other things as well. I would definitely like to see them explore a lot of other stuff. But Jurassic would be high on the list for me. I think they've also got some... They're seemingly teasing like Zelda in the park and outside of the park in the parking sections. So Zelda's like also big for me. I got the tattoo right here. So I want Zelda in there pretty hardcore. So that would make a lot of sense with Nintendo already being in that park. But if they were to ever go and put a Jurassic World in there, oh man, I would want the Jurassic World Adventure in there. That would be fantastic. But like at the same time, I do question like whether they would do that at this point. We did get a third Harry Potter land for technically a movie that didn't really do all that well. When you talk about the Fantastic Beasts movies, it's subtly, not subtly, but it's it is themed to that movie because it does take place in France or Paris or whatever, and that land is Paris. So it was built off of that. It does kind of revert back to the other movies with the attraction, but that does make me think about where we're going with this movie with Rebirth. I know I talked about this a little bit last week, but they could do it side by side and have Jurassic right there next to Harry Potter, have these like franchises that are moving on and doing different things right next to each other. That would be kind of interesting. I just don't know. Like at this point, would they just stick with their tried and true in the parks? Or would they give us a Rebirth land? You know, I guess it really depends on what this movie is intending to do with a franchise. You know, was this some sort of run and gun sequel that just kind of like they made it up on the fly and they bottle episoded it, you know, and just kind of made something that doesn't connect, that just is its own thing? So making a park would, you know, based off of that wouldn't really make any sense. It's tough. It's really tough. I feel like the operating theme park is like such a great way to go, but I do love like exploring like a natural habitat kind of idea as well. I just don't know what they would do at this point. I feel like they would just opt for the natural or the Jurassic World vibe, but I don't know. It's really hard to tell. If they wanted to give us, which they, you know what they should do is they should swap it out and remove, because I think they only have one gate. They only have one Jurassic Park gate there now. They should remove that gate, put it as Jurassic World, put a Jurassic World gate in Islands of Adventure. Change out the River Adventure to make some sort of sense within Jurassic World, like it's the restricted area, you know, something along those lines, the old visitor center or something. And then make Jurassic Park, I don't know, would that make sense at this point? I don't know. Like put the Jurassic Park gates in the new park, and oh, that would be so cool if they were to do something like that, but I highly doubt that. You know, the other day I was thinking about a new land for Epic Universe to be something like a retro section, because you know, they kind of get away from their history a little bit, but I think they've been embracing it a little bit more. And if they were to create like a retro land that had kind of like a Back to the Future attraction, it's got a Jaws ride, it's got a Jurassic ride, stuff like that, that kind of like dips into their nostalgia in one land, I think that would be kind of cool as well. What's up, Big Jack Films? Muslim says, my hot take is move Skull Island to its own land in Epic and turn that space into into the Beijing ride. Oh, yeah. I don't know if there's enough space over there for the Beijing ride, but because it is right up against like I think it's like a school or something over there, and like houses. But I think some sort of ride over there would be pretty great. Well, glad to have you here. Good to see you here on the feed. But we're just talking a lot of theme parks, Jurassic, Star Wars. We're talking all kinds of stuff tonight, so get used to it. But I don't see that happening. I have wanted them to move it to like the original park because I think it belongs in studios. So if they were to remove like the Fear Factor area or something like that and put in Kong over there or where the Simpsons are now, I think they're, whatever. They could put it anywhere in that park. And I think at this point, though, it's moved from studios to islands. I don't imagine it moving somewhere else at this point, but we'll see. We'll see. I feel like it's probably there to stay, especially because they just finally reopened the outdoor section of the ride. They finally got that going again. So the ride vehicle now goes back out and around instead of through the tunnel. So I don't know. I don't really know what their intention is with Jurassic in the States here. They're doing such great stuff in other parks around the world. The opportunity presents itself here with Epic Universe to do something really great. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, you gotta get your plans going because Rebirth is right around the corner. I don't know if you watched Chaos Theory. Not that really ties into Rebirth at all. But it gets you hyped up, start playing some of the old video games. I feel like I've been doing that recently for Star Wars Celebration. I've been kind of like getting back into a bunch of Star Wars stuff, and like I've been playing Outlaws a bunch. And I got to rewatch Andor too before that hits the streaming services again. But do I think Vader will be in Andor Season 2? Yeah, I think there's a good chance that could be the case, but because it does look like she's choking. I know a lot of people have saying she's like trying to like loosen like her, just kind of do something like this, but it does look like she's absolutely choking in that section. So the only reason she would be choking is because somebody's force choking her, and the only person to be doing that at that moment would be Vader. Yeah. You did a 2-hour review. Look, I've been doing a 2-hour review of Dominion every week, so that's what I've been doing every week. So yeah, but don't get too exhausted of it. But I did hear about the Back to the Future ride in the UK as well. I was just at Epic Universe the other day, and they have a flux capacitor on the back of the ride vehicles for Stardust Racers, the dueling roller coaster. I don't know why it's on there. I guess it kind of, I don't know if it's supposedly tying into like the whole like Jules and Vern, like of it all, like that kind of vibe of Celestial Gardens. But I don't know why it's there. I didn't really look into it. I saw the flux capacitor and I'm like, at this point, why wouldn't you just make this a Back to the Future roller coaster? I don't get it. I don't know, but it's not. So, but I would love a Back to the Future land, and I think it did look like it was supposedly like a coaster. So we'll see what happens there. Back to the Future would absolutely make me go out there. I would need to go out there and go to that park, and Jurassic as well. I'd have to go there. You hear Simpsons? Yeah, that's I've heard that as well. We'll see. If they sign off on that, get that going, who knows? It's been rumored for years now, so we'll see if that actually happens. But 2028 is when the license expires for the Simpsons in the Studios Park, I believe. So they still got some time to be there. It just depends on if Universal wants to keep it there, right? Like, so that's what the license is for, but I guess they can choose to give it the boot and say, hey, Pokemon, come on in here. That would be great. I'd love that. But I have also heard that Back to the Future could go in there as well, again. So we'll see. Oh, sorry. Yours is more detailed. So, I'm so sorry. I didn't get all the details. But yeah, I'd like to see what you're talking about. You'll have to send a link at some point. You know what? When we do streams here, we do streams and podcasts. We got no details. I'm just winging it all. We're just making it all up. None of this makes any sense. Harry Potter's never going to become wicked. No. It's not going to happen. I could imagine that one of the lands could be wicked if they were to open up, one of the expansion pads. There's like 2 or 3 expansion pads, I think, for that park. So they could put wicked in there, and that would make a lot of sense. But, I mean, everybody's heard all the things, that we've heard that Marvel Superhero Island could turn into wicked. But, yeah, who knows? Who knows? But what else was I going to talk about? Oh, Epic Universe. Is there anything else I wanted to mention? Any other questions or anything about Celestial Park? Celestial Park is the middle of the section, like a middle of the park. Let me bring up this real quick so you can see. Do I have? Yeah, let's go here. Boom. Yeah, Celestial is interesting. It kind of is like lacking identity. I feel like it needs something, and I know it has like an icon with this the tower thing there in the beginning, but it just doesn't. And obviously, it's got a massive hotel in the back that's very visually appealing and everything, but it feels like it's lacking something visual. Like maybe I'm just too used to Disney at this point, but I feel like Universal has given us those appealing views as well, like whether it's Jurassic Across the Lagoon. Or, I don't know, just, what else? I don't know, something else. They are usually good at that too, but something about this section is just nice. It's just a garden, a nice, like, strolling spot. Like, there wasn't really an identity to it, so the middle was kind of perplexing to me. But at nighttime, it really, really came alive. So this is a park that needs to be experienced at nighttime, especially Dark Universe. That ride is incredible. My God, I can't stop talking about it. Huge, what do you call it? Underdog, something like that. Like Yoshi is a fantastic attraction that you need to experience. It's like a kiddie ride. It's just like a slow moving little 2-seater kind of ride, but it's so cute and so fun. I loved it so much. But yeah, I need to explore dragons more next time. Hopefully get the chance to go back in a few months. But didn't go on the Harry Potter ride. It was closed. But yeah, a really, really fun park. But let's talk about the biggest news of the week for Jurassic fans. Jurassic fans, guys, we got something big to talk about this week. Huge news. Huge news. Like, honestly, you can't get much bigger news than this. All right? I'm going to have to make a new banner for this. But let's go here. Jurassic news. Sam Neill boards Legendary's next Monsterverse film. Dr. Alan Grant is now going to be sharing the screen with Godzilla and Kong and Mothra and whatever else. I can't believe it. That is incredibly huge news for me and Tom. Now, if you don't follow myself and Tom Jurassic, we did an entire breakdown of the Monarch show, and we talk about the Godzilla movies from time to time. I actually recorded with Stephen Ray Morris about Godzilla, so that should be hitting the feeds at some point. I don't think it did already, but it should be hitting the feeds at some point. But I love the Monsterverse movies. I think they do such a good job. We kind of talked about canon before, right? With Chaos Theory and Camp Cretaceous and stuff. And this series does such an incredible job with canon, with tying things together, with a live-action television show, with several movies now. There's like 6. This is like I don't know how many movies. I think it's like 6 movies. This is going to be the 6th or something like that. Does it say? I don't know. Caitlin Deaver's in this. Jack O'Connell, Delroy Lindo, Matthew Modine, Alicia Debnam Carey, and Dan Stevens. Fantastic cast. Like, the new cast there is pretty great. Alicia was in Fear the Walking Dead. She was like pretty great in that. Caitlin Deaver's now in The Last of Us. Dan Stevens was awesome as Trapper in the last movie. So I was really hoping that, like, when I watched The New Empire, I was like, Trapper needs to be the one that crosses back over, because every movie they do 1 or 2 characters that continue on to the next movie. So now I need Sam Neill to be that guy. He has to be the one to cross over into the next movie. I just hope he's not like the one-off like bad guy that's like, we need to make sure that all of the monsters around the world destroy this entire world, and I'll be the sole living survivor. But I really hope he's not that kind of character. I hope he literally has his like hope he does that in the movie, and they, you know, do a take on Jurassic when he first sees Kong or Godzilla or somebody. Had to be Godzilla, I guess. Or maybe there's a new one. Maybe there's like a new Brachiosaurus looking monster that he could do that for. He has to be in it doing that. If they don't do that, that's like a huge loss. So he's got to be taking the glasses off. But I am so hyped for this, and I really hope he's the guy that continues on into the next movie. So yeah, this one I think is it filming right now, I think? We got a new director, which I think is good for this series. Adam Woodgard was definitely created some really awesome stuff, but like, it wasn't my favorite 2 movies of the franchise. I think it really went there with the off the wall stuff, which I loved, but I think there was a little bit more groundedness I wish there was involved in it, and plus obviously a world built off of Gareth Edwards. So please let his name be Dr. Alan Grant. Like, I just let him be the same guy. Like, give him a flannel. Let him not know what to do with kids. You know, like, not know what are those? I want to hear one of those, you know? And somebody's like, well, that's Godzilla and that's Kong. No, I mean that little one next to it. The one that Kong just threw into another monster. It's a Kong kid. That's what we call him. But you know, I really want him to be a big part of this. I hope it turns out well. I'm really excited. I don't think this is coming out until 2027. So we got a long ways off. But Monarch is coming sometime. I don't know when that's coming. Probably, I would assume like next year. But I think they've wrapped. I don't know if I think they wrapped on that show. I don't remember. You don't have Apple TV? Yeah, you should try to track it down. Try to get like a free trial or something like that. I don't know. But Monarch is a fantastic show. I really, really enjoyed it, and I think it brought a lot of history to the universe and to specifically that first film. So it really ties itself nicely into Gareth Edwards' movie. So please do your best to try to track that down, or just do a month or something and just watch the show, because it's a great show. It's a great show. When the new season comes out, maybe subscribe, watch through the first season, and then watch the new season. That way you can have it for like a month or two and then cancel it if you need to. But I'd highly suggest Monarch. It was a great one. But yeah, I'm happy he's in the movies, but that doesn't mean that he couldn't show up in the TV show as well. There's totally the chance that he could. So I think that would be really cool as well. It's, like I said, it's a really well-rounded universe that is great canonically. So I could see it happening. But that was the biggest news of the week. That was the biggest news. I'm excited to see what he brings as well. Do you remember where you got the Jurassic Park mini poster? This one? Is that the one you're talking about? Do I remember where I got that? I think I just got it like on Amazon or something. I don't know. It's like a wooden sign, actually. It's I don't know where I got that from. It was a while ago, so I don't know if it would still be out, but it might be on Amazon. I see somebody is selling it on Amazon. $24.99. It looks like. Nah, this one's framed though. This is different. I don't know, but just search like Jurassic Park sunset sign or something like that. See if it pops up. It pops up, but again, it's just like a framed picture version of it. It's like somebody printed it and just... Yeah, I don't know, actually. Maybe it was like from some other website, but I don't remember. Maybe it was like a... Could have been like... What is that place called? No idea. I'm trying to think of a place like in the mall. Is it in the mall? Now I'm blanking completely. I almost had it and then it disappeared. I'll try to think of it. But yeah. Talking all kinds of stuff tonight. Do you think Palpatine will make an appearance when Mon Mothma calls him out? The monster will come for us all. I hope so. Cause like you know what we don't have enough of is like Emperor Palpatine. Like we've seen like the monster that is Emperor Palpatine, but we don't have enough of him like doing senatorial stuff that would be interesting to see in context to a galaxy where that he's actually running. Like, would he actually be out there doing anything? I don't know. But yeah, I hope so. I really hope he shows up. I didn't get it per se at the mall, but I got it. I definitely had it shipped here, I believe. I can't think of like a Hot Topic maybe. Let's see, Hot Topic, welcome to Jurassic Park, wood sign, yeah. It says out of stock. Jurassic Park welcome sign, wood wall art. That's what it came up with. I think it must have been Hot Topic. Yeah, but it looks like it's out of stock. But it looks like it's on eBay. $40. But anyway, I'm losing my voice a little bit. I gotta wrap it up. That's all I got for you tonight. Please. I don't know. Just go follow us. Go follow us here. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all those places. My other show, Grim Grinning Host, we're going to be talking about Epic Universe soon, probably. But there is an Indiana Jones episode out there right now, so go check out that. The Forcecast, which we just talked about our top 5 animated characters that are not featured in live action, that have stuck with animation only. So go check out that episode. That was fun to kind of try to narrow that down to 5 characters that are like, I don't know. It was hard because I feel like my favorite characters have already made their transition for the most part into live action. So there was a lot of like interesting things that I tried to come up with, and Ryan as well. So go check out that episode and stay tuned because we're going to be talking about Star Wars Celebration, which is coming out this weekend. So stay tuned. A lot of good Forcecast stuff. Go find the newsletter and everything over on JurassicParkPodcast.com. Just click on the newsletter here. Boom, join newsletter. And you'll get the latest stuff. I was going to write some stuff, but then I got sidetracked, so we'll see. But go check out our interviews with the Chaos Theory cast and executive producer. Go check out those. And yeah. I got a new episode coming out next week. It should be a Dino DNA episode, so spoilers for you. But that's all I got for you. So, as always, thank you for being here tonight. Really appreciate it. We'll see you next... Oh, no, wait. We will not see you next week. No live stream next week, but hopefully should be back the following week. But wait. What is... Oh, yeah. So, let me see. Let me just check out the calendar real quick, because there is not one next week. But there will be 2 the following week. So we'll have the 30th, which is April 30th, live stream, regular live stream. And then the following day, which is the first Thursday, May 1st, we'll have a Beyond the Gates episode as well, probably with Aaron Beyer. So stay tuned for that. 2 live streams on that week. So anyway, gonna try to get some sleep. It's going to be totally wizard. Absolutely going to be a totally wizard weekend. But as always, stay safe.